Hey, welcome to Confident Communication for Entrepreneurs. Today, I had a great question coming in. I love this. Somebody asked me, what are some of the most embarrassing public speaking situations you've had? And I've had many. Most of these I haven't ever shared, but I will today because it's funny and I think it's going to be very meaningful for you to know. The first one I can think of, it was one of my first talks ever. And it was there was a college here. They had a nursing program. They asked me to come out and give a 1-hour talk. I said, sure, that sounds interesting. I was introduced to them through my old hockey goalie coach who had a connection to them and said, hey, we do this section on mental health. We'd love to bring somebody in. So he suggested my name. Going into it, I remember I emailed the professor a week before. I said, hey, what do you want me to talk about? Like, what are the teaching points? And she responded, oh, just talk about your story. It's fine. I'm sure you'll be great. I had no idea. I've never done a talk before. I've never done presentations. I walked in and I just started rambling about my story. I was like, okay, well, I had these panic attacks and then I struggled with some anxiety and I had no idea. I walked in, there's about 50, 60 people in the room. There's a lecture room. And as it's going, I'm just kind of rambling. I had no idea where to go and just glazed over look from the people's faces. And I'm sitting there going, oh my God, like this is bombing. This is definitely not good because I had no structure, no flow, didn't know where to go with it. And then it got really bad. Okay, if you think that was bad, it got really bad because then it opened up to Q&A. Q&A opens up, the lady there, first question, she raised her hand. I go, yes, you? She goes, hey Lucas, I just want to know, how does it feel being back in regular society now? And I thought, what? And she said, yeah, now that you're back, kind of integrating with regular society, like how does it feel? My delivery was so stiff, rigid, and nervous that in her mind, she thought I must have been locked away in some kind of hospital for a while. And then this was part of my reintroduction to society program. So I'm here giving talks at universities and sharing a message. And at that time, I'm like, no, I mean, I was working in bars. I was going to school. I had a life. I just had a lot of anxiety and panic attacks. But it was devastating for me. I walked out after the Q&A and I got in my car and actually I broke down and I started crying because I thought, I am so bad at this. Like, this is the career that I want to go into, sharing my message and speaking, and people think that I just got released from a hospital. Like, that's how nervous I'm looking. And it was at that moment, I had two choices. The first was I was just going to quit and say, clearly, I'm not meant for this. This is an obvious sign that I'm not good enough, and leave it. But in my heart, I've always wanted to help people. And this was a venue, this was a vehicle to really make that happen. And option two was I need to start training. I need to start working with experts to build myself up. And that's what I did. I started investing, building training, going to programs, and becoming a better speaker. And then a lot of it was implementation and building myself up. So that was the first story that was really, really embarrassing, was just going in and people thinking that I just got released from the mental hospital. The second most embarrassing story that I'll share was I was doing talks, I was giving presentations, and it was a one-day training that I did. Walked in, procrastination's been a bit of a challenge. I've overcome it now. I'm a lot more prepared, professional. But in those days, literally I'd be showing up very close to the start time and setting up the room, getting it all going. But I remember one day, it was about 5 years ago. I'm in the hotel room, setting up the room. I got the projector going. Okay, it's all on the table. I'm getting ready. And I'm rushing. And I look at my watch. I'm like, okay, 25 minutes till start time. So I got some time. I'm like, oh, I just got to plug in the projector. So I bend down to plug in the projector and I hear, and I'm like, oh no. I just felt this draft between my legs. And I look and my pants split right from the ass, the entire way down, split right open. And I wasn't wearing a blazer. I was just wearing a dress shirt. So my ass is sitting there and I'm like, oh my God. So that happened. And it's in a moment, I go from 25 minutes, I better get ready, to it's like, what just happened? I freaked out. And then it brought me back to an hour earlier when I was dressing to come to the event. And I had choices. I was looking at my underwear drawer and I go, do I wear black underwear or should I go with a bolder color? And I thought, no, I'm offering an upsell. I need to go bold. And I wore these bright red underwear. Nobody was going to see them, but I knew it was going to be bold underneath. And of course, as soon as it ripped, I sit there like, oh, Jesus, I have red underwear on and everyone's going to see it. So then I freaked out, ran to the front desk. I go, hey, this is super embarrassing. My pants split. Do you have a sewing kit? Fortunately, she did. She gives me a sewing kit. I take my pants off, go to the bathroom, and I quickly realized that I have absolutely no idea how to sew because I'm sitting there going, oh no, it's like going through, nothing's working. And I'm sitting there going like, oh, I thought I could be good because my mom, she makes dresses. So I thought genetically maybe it'd pass down. Clearly not the case. But then the other thing was I'm sitting there like, oh shit, I started really panicking because now I only have like 20 minutes before people are gonna show up. So I grabbed the stapler and I thought, okay, let me deal with this. So I got a stapler, got my pants, and I just started stapling the ass closed. And what happened was, so I throw the pants on and I'm walking, and then the training's happening and my legs in between my thighs are just on fire. I'm sitting there going like, wow, this hurts like crazy. And I made a rookie mistake. I've never done this before, so I didn't know. But if this ever happens to you, when you staple your pants, go from the inside out, because I went from the outside in, and so I had these like sharp edges of the staples that were just tearing up my thighs, and I had to do an 8-hour training. I didn't let them know, I continued on, but I got through it. And the key there is, if you're doing an upsell, bring extra pants if you're going with bold underwear. Otherwise, keep rocking darks and you're safe either way. But definitely do that and staple inside out.